Howdy, it's me. In my last video, somebody reached out to me and said, you know what, Greg, I agree with what you said, but I must admit that it came across as if you're a little bit anti-government. And I just want to express that I'm definitely not anti-government. I'm just anti-stupid government. I'm sick and tired, and I'm sure a lot of us are, of these uneducated individuals that are getting into power and running the country and actually running it actually into the ground. So for a food for thought, we base a lot of our opinions and a lot of our decisions in life on feelings. It's a core instrument that us humans use to get things done, to move things forward. We base a lot of things on feelings, and I want to just take a moment to actually challenge that for a second, and how this actually relates to politics. So before we had mathematics and science, we only had nature. That's all that we had. And we would go out, venture out into the world, and we would hunt for food, and we would, if we were lucky enough to find food, we would survive. If we didn't, our ancestors would perish. In fact, actually, our ancestors' siblings would perish. And we are the descendants of the long line of trial and error and making things work. And a lot of it was based on just pure feelings. And those feelings were improved upon and passed on from generation to generation. And then finally along came science and technology, and a lot of decisions were streamlined. We were able to really hone in on decision making with absolute precision. And so the thing that I actually want to challenge you on is we vote according to a lot of politicians based on our feelings and not based on actual mathematics. So what I'm vouching for is to potentially put your feelings aside and think about voting for those that are actually educated in the numbers, in the science, in the fundamental understanding of how the world fundamentally operates. Because there are plenty of illusions out there that, for example, there's illusions where you will look at something and you will, it will, line up two sticks, and it will appear, lines will be drawn, and it'll appear as if one stick is longer than another. But then they remove the other lines and you see them side by side, and then you actually realize, no, they're actually the same length. So our judgments can be incorrect very often. And the last thing that we want to actually do is base our decisions based on those incorrect perceptions. They lead to a different feeling. We felt that the one stick was longer than the other, not based on science, not based on anything, but just because of an illusion. So what I'm actually suggesting, or what I'm, this is more like just a food for thought. Again, do your own voting according to, what you feel comfortable with. But it's more like just to challenge you into thinking, rather than me casting a vote based on how I feel, I'm actually going to start casting a vote based on how educated the person is to actually do the job. And I'm referring to more in the mathematics and the science departments. We really need more mathematicians and scientists to be leading the country, because what we've seen is, for example, I don't want to mention any recent events that happened in 2020, but basically we had the scientific process and it was severely deformed because of politicians who to use it as an opportunity to push their own agendas, to control the situation. They deformed the scientific process. And I truly believe that if we had more scientists and mathematicians in politics, we would be better equipped to actually make appropriate decisions, not just for ourselves, but based on societies. So again, so I'm not anti-government. I'm not vouching for anarchy. I'm not vouching for anything that will, harm society. Obviously, I want the best for humanity. I'm just really sick and tired of uneducated people just running things into the ground, and we're voting them in over and over again. So that's just something, some food for thought for you guys to think about. The other thing that I actually want to mention in terms of voting is that if you are a mathematician or scientist, I'm not a mathematician or scientist. I'll never be running for president. This is not a plea to vote for me. But if you are a mathematician or a scientist, I'm trying to urge everyone who has that technical and mathematical background to start running for political positions, to start actually pushing those positions forward. So we really need more of these individuals to actually be pushing the agenda forward in the right direction, going against what our feelings are saying, and making decisions based on actual facts. We are riddled with misinformation, and it's I've seen families being torn apart. I've seen countries just at each other's throats. I've seen, living in the US, watching the divide between the people who supported Trump, the people who supported Hillary Clinton. I'm not for or against anyone right now, but I'm just saying that it's really sad to see, and the reason is because a lot of our decisions are based on feelings, and I'm just saying for a second, maybe we should start putting our feelings aside and start thinking about the actual science, the actual mathematics of the way how certain things work. We really need to actually start pushing for that. So that's what I actually wanted to say today. I also want to give a shout out to my favorite fan. She is 5 years old. Her name is Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. I love you. You're amazing. Thank you for watching my content. You're absolutely incredible. You see, Jasmine gets it. Politicians need to start getting it too. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say for today. Love and peace out. See you around.